Hey, welcome to our The Predator review. You know The Predator.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger and...
Wait, no, not Predator.
the one with Danny Glover.
No, not Predator 2.
The one with the guy from the kids, that 70s show, and...
Not Predators. The Predator.
The Predator.
Yeah, not Predator, not Predators, not Predator 2, The Predator.
The Predator.
The Predator, yeah. Also, there's a prequel book. It takes place before the Predator. It's also called The Predator, Hunters and Hunted.
Do you have to read this to understand the movie? I guess we don't know until we see it.
We're going to find out because we're going to go watch the movie, and then we're going to discuss it and talk about it and see how it relates to this book. And, yeah, let's go to the movies!
It's finally here!
How many years? I don't know. A lot of years. There's a Predator movie.
Exciting
Black.
face!
Iron Man 3! Pussy jokes!
Yeah! As big as a house! What's wrong?
We saw The Predator, that's what's wrong.
You didn't like it?
Hey everybody, you want to hear about The Predator? You want to hear what I have to say about The Predator? Everyone's just going to yell at me in the comments.
No,
Like, the fucking guy on the left
I think
didn't like it.
Most people are going to fall into your camp.
I'm Kyle. This is Ryan.
I
And we're going to talk about The Predator and also The Predator book that takes place before The Predator.
Is it just called The Predator?
I think it's Hunters and Hunted, but it's like
Okay.
The Predator on top and then Hunters and Hunted on the bottom, but no one reads the bottom because there's a bunch of other words there. Like,
Let me just say the title is really complicated, and Halloween is falling into the same trap.
yeah, try to search this on the internet, you know? Based on the screenplay written by Fred Decker and Shane Black, based on the characters created by Jim Thomas and John Thomas, directed by Shane Black. Wait, Shane Black did not direct this book. Anyways, we're going to talk about a little bit about the book too, so for anyone that didn't know there was a prequel, actually can help, I guess maybe explain some of the stuff that happens in The Predator. We're going to talk about it for a bit. We're not going to spoil it right off. If you want to skip to the... Oh, wait, actually, you know what? No. How about this?
We'll come back and go, boop!
Yeah, we'll tell you when the spoilers start.
Wait,
Also, the time...
minute.
Yeah, the spoilers will start
Skip
at
to
this
minute.
point.
Skip to minute.
Anyways, they get the idea. So we'll start off with non-spoiler talk, and then we'll get into the spoiler stuff, because it's a fresh movie. It literally is Thursday night. We saw it early.
Yeah.
So if anyone's watched this on a Friday, if you haven't seen it yet, we don't want to spoil it. Just watch the first half, and then come back later and watch the second half. So right off the bat.
So your feelings in this movie, I think, are stronger than mine.
They're much... Well, because I have less...
But
I'm not okay with stuff like this.
Right. So I'm wondering, I think maybe you should just go first.
Well,
just like right off the bat.
we're both going to agree that this movie is fucking trash.
No, I'm not going to agree with that.
But you're going to say, yes, it's trash, but I enjoyed it. And I'm going to say...
Trash is a little strong. It had too many fun things in it to be trash.
It is not a Predator movie. To put it simply, if you watch Predator 1 and 2, and even Predators for that matter...
Well, yeah.
And even... It feels more like AVP. It feels like both AVP movies.
Oh, I disagree on that.
I'm not saying that it's as bad as the AVP movies, but it feels like in tone...
Yes,
to those
except
movies.
like AVP
Action
didn't have a single joke that landed, not a single action beat that was exciting, not a single gore thing that worked, literally nothing.
AVP had xenomorphs fighting predators.
Yeah, it sucked.
But I'm just saying, it had some slick. It wasn't cool. It was just whatever.
Just had a big predator fighting a little predator.
Yeah, a big predator fights a little predator. So yeah, it's.
I'll just say, without spoiling, I knew that Kyle hated this movie in the first 10 seconds. The first 10 seconds. Before the title card even popped up, I knew that he was out.
Was there even a title card?
Yeah, there was a title card.
I didn't even notice it because I was like this.
Yeah, I knew it.
So this is not spoiling anything because literally the first shot of the movie...
It's kind of... No. I don't know, because people don't know what they're getting into.
It doesn't spoil any of the plot. It's just
right.
the first shot of the movie is some Star Wars-ass... spaceships shooting each other, opening tears and rifts in space to, not parallel dimensions, but like wormhole shit to jump, through space.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what fucking movie did we just go into? Because this is not a Predator movie. This is a goddamn Star Wars movie.
There's spaceships. Haven't you ever wanted to see them in action?
So there's a thing called subtlety. Something the first movie had a lot of. This one has 0.
Yeah, but like that movie was already made. There's no room.
You can't make another movie
There's no
like
room
it.
for that anymore.
There is, because you could have made a Predator-ass Predator movie.
It's got a lot of Predator in it.
There's a lot of Predator in it. Yeah, it's just it's bombastic. It's
Yes.
comedy
Yes.
mixed with really bad, I'd say, shooting. Like, I mean, there's a lot of like shooting bullets at a thing. It's like doesn't seem to care that you're shooting it. So why are you still shooting it?
Because they're soldiers and they have guns, and that's the only thing they can do.
Like, you know, the first movie had the traps and the like. Let's try. And this one's just like point a gun at it and shoot at it, and it's not killing it, but just keep shooting it. There's very little in the way of like
it was
ingenuity.
more of a Dirty
or,
Dozen movie than it was a Predator movie.
and I'll say this: Thomas Jane was that character, right?
Yeah.
Okay, he's slimmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
The whole like comedy shit in Predator, like, you know, when Shane Black was in the original Predator and he makes the jokes about, you know, pussy's as big as a house, you know, it's funny because it's a character in the movie who's funny. This movie, the whole movie's trying to be kind of that character. It's
So
like being an action guy and being cool and stuff, but then also being like, hey, I know how to joke around.
Right. So there was this question when it was announced that Shane Black was going to do this. It was like, is it going to be a Predator movie?
So before we even get to that, I think that it should have started with, I was in the camp of the advertising looks bad. Shane Black's doing it. I'll reserve judgment because Shane Black can't make a mistake here. And then I saw it and went, oh, I was wrong.
See, this is where I think that's kind of a bullshit stance.
You finish what you were saying.
Well, okay, so
I'm just saying that's a lot of things people are asking me, go like, but Shane Black, right? And I go, yes, that's why I didn't say it
Shane Black has
sucks.
never made anything that's not a Shane Black movie.
Right, but I mean, like you said, in the first 10 seconds of the movie, I went, oh, this is already...
Yeah. Would you say that this is not a Shane Black movie?
I do not feel, other than the characters and the writing,
Well,
but even
that's
then,
like a big part of the movie.
even then, it doesn't go as far as Shane Black would normally go with characters and like dialogue. So it's well on its own. It's out of place because the rest of the movie does not feel like a Shane Black movie. It feels like what you said after we got out of the theater was like, it feels like the studio edited the movie.
I think that this movie
Shane Black shot it, but then
I think that Shane Black probably delivered something that I would have enjoyed the shit out of even more than this. But I think that the studio did not know what to do with it. I think that but also at the same time, like, why did you put Shane Black on this? I knew it could be one of two things. We'd either get a movie from Shane Black we've never seen before, because he would recognize that his voice needs to disappear, and you know, I need to try to make this kind of movie.
But again, why do you hire a director if you don't want their voice to come through?
But then again, like I already a long time ago, and I had went to San Diego Comic-Con, and the scene where she wakes up in the hotel, I'd seen that already. So that's a pretty Shane Black ass scene, and I went, oh, okay, it's a Shane Black movie, got it. Like, so now I'm like, do I want a Shane Black Predator movie?
But is
not a Predator movie directed by Shane Black, like a Shane Black Predator movie? And I went, yeah, I get down with that. I'm excited to see something like that.
Whoa, sorry.
Hard R, alien, horror, sci-fi, action,
Hard
soldiers
R
things.
But okay, so I think
this movie got cut to shit. It's not that bad actually. I don't think it's as bad as other people are making it. The first act is terrible and the last act is bad. Middle act's okay.
I actually thought I kind of forgot how bad it was for like the second half. It was just like
the editing for like the first like 15 minutes is.
It was just
bad. I feel like we're getting away from broad strokes.
No, but it is broad strokes. I mean, the second half of the movie, I forgot. It had less of the shit in the first part that made me go, oh my god. It just by that point you're in the movie and you're just kind of going with it, and it's like this is just dumb action movie stuff, you know. But it's still not good. It's just that it's the beginning stuff makes you really go like, this is not a fucking Predator. This is not horror. This is not suspense. This is not thriller. This is not scary.
No.
It's just it is AVP with
but good,
but better. Yeah.
I mean,
but like watching a predator fight a predator.
Right, but that's so okay. So when I kept tell customers at work because they're like, "Oh, Ryan, you know, what do you think? What do you think of all this stuff?" And I go, "Okay, well, Ridley Scott stuff is dead in the water. That's all done. We're all done doing that. That's over. The Blomkamp thing's not happening. Okay, fine. So what's going to happen? Well, this Predator movie is going to come out, and part of me kind of just knew that it wouldn't be successful because They just can't get it off the ground.
Well, I was tweeted out like, the marketing is going to do really bad stuff for this movie because, well, two things. If the movie is like the marketing is, like the trailers, the fucking or the rap song and shit I'm like, this is gonna fail because it's not gonna be dark enough for some audience. Like, it's weird how some movies can be really successful and you're like, wow, I'm surprised audiences, like we would like it, but I'm surprised regular people went. Because sometimes it's really dark.
Yeah.
And other times it's not dark, it's like super light. Like, I guess audiences will go to the really hardcore stuff, aka like Conjuring, shit that's like really scary, really supposed to jump scare you, not necessarily good, but just really dark, or something like Hereditary.
Did you watch Hereditary?
I haven't yet. I still have it. Or like the Vavitch. Uh-huh. Like, that actually people see it, and then people you wouldn't normally think would watch that would end up enjoying it. Uh-huh. And then you have the things where it's like studio goes, no, we can't have anything scary. Let's stick all the way on this side for audiences that are general. Uh-huh. Anything in between is either too weak to be hard or too soft to be actually family friendly.
Right.
This falls in that weird middle ground of like, it doesn't have enough of what might make an audience. If you had made it slow and scary, I think it would have resonated better with like a general audience.
Yeah, but
and we don't have box office numbers yet because it's literally Thursday night.
Right.
We're not gonna know for a couple days. So for all we know, we put this video out and then like Predator makes $110 million this weekend, but I doubt it.
I kind of doubt it.
There was not that many people in the theater that we saw it in. There was a lot of empty seats.
Yeah, there was a lot of...
For a Thursday, and it wasn't a midnight showing. It was a 7 o'clock showing. So.
Right. We'll see. I think actually general audiences will have a good time with this, but I think that the marketing fucked it up. I don't think they're going to get out to see it.
See, I think it's...
But I think that most general audiences... I think if general audiences were out to see this, they'd have a good time.
Yes. I think a lot of people would see that and go, meh, I'll watch it on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because they don't care enough. Like, it's not good enough to go, so like you said, get out of your seat and go see it. But
they needed to have, like, the Predator dick stabbings, like, right out front. Like,
I don't know if you could put dick stabbings in a commercial, but...
Yeah, well... So...
Speaking of which, spoilers, there's a dick stabbing in the movie. Not really, but...
That's fine. I mean, like, I feel like that's kind of
it's
like the whole... I feel like that's my one-line review. Do you want to see Predators stab people in the dick? If yes, go see it. If no, don't see it.
And it's not like a dick stabbing. It's more like the Friday the 13th Part 3 where it's like, oh, he jammed the harpoon into the guy's crotch and then picked him up. But it wasn't like, hey...
that sounds like a
But
dick
it wasn't...
stabbing.
No. It's just like when it wasn't like male nudity and someone got their dick stabbed or something like that.
There's no nudity in this movie.
Unfortunately. They try to pretend there's going to be.
They show, like, predator balls. Predator penis.
Really?
Are there such things as female predators? Do you think we saw any female predators in the movie that we just watched?
According to the books that I've read over the years, I think the female predators are actually bigger than the male predators.
So that was a female predator. Oh, spoiler.
No, I don't. It's not spoiler. I don't know. They don't ever talk about that stuff. But
So, again, if you're asking yourself, my opinion, if you're asking yourself, is this a movie where like Shane Black is gonna like put his voice aside and make a Predator movie? He did. It's if you're like, oh, is Shane Black gonna do a Shane Black thing with a Predator movie? In my opinion, he did. I think he did it, but
he didn't go all the way.
I think that this there's a director's cut of this movie that could maybe exist, but we're not going to see it. It doesn't matter. But even if there was,
I don't think it's going to fix anything. Like,
maybe not. Probably not. There's probably that. But my point is if like Shane Black got to go whole hog on this, I think that.
Okay, well, let's get away from the Shane Black stuff because
it's kind of hard because that's what it is.
But at this point, we've already covered the fact that like the pre-making and then the post and everything about it. So we've said what there's to say.
Right,
but let's get into like character design.
Yeah.
The creature design. Sorry, they look terrible.
Oh, I liked them.
And there's also some CGI Predator. Like
I thought it was okay.
Like when he's like in the tree and
just the bright light in his face. I mean, that's
it looks silly. They when they put too much light on the creatures and then they do the digital enhancement, it looks silly. When they have full on mask and everything, it's Pussy Monster.
There was only
the mouth has the thing.
There's only one part that really bothered me, like kind of CGI green screen wise, but I'll talk about it later.
And the green blood, a lot of it was like just really bad. Like it didn't look like it fit in the scene.
There was a lot of good practical stuff with their regular Predator. Like that Predator fucked shit up, and that was not CGI.
Okay, so when you go back to like general audience, if they saw this, they would probably have a good time. I don't know. You guys can answer this. We can't obviously answer for other people, but I mean, seeing a modern movie, and like, okay, the guy throws a knife at the guy, hits him in the face, and then he has a knife sticking out of his head, right? And then you see him a little later, and you can tell it's been digitally enhanced to like.
Right.
There's probably not enough. Do people just not care practical versus CG for things like that? Where it's that should be a practical effect. Like, you know, seeing a guy with like a fake arm get cut off should be a practical effect. Yes, having him jump around in the trees, you can't do that practically. But for things like a guy thrown against a window, all the fake blood, it becomes very obvious after a while. And it reminds me of Land of the Dead, when there was that transition between, there were still a lot of practical prosthetics and makeup, but then a lot of the kills was like, oh, CG. And I remember the MPAA, they had issues, they had to cut frames out, but it felt so like, that doesn't have any weight to it.
This is not your main criticism, though.
No, I'm asking our regular people, regular audiences, do they actually notice it like that's fake?
No, they don't care.
See, because I look at it and I'm like, that looks cheesy. Because it doesn't look visceral.
Right, but you'd notice it less if you were actually invested in the movie. So you're not invested in the movie because there was a tone.
But there's things like this that
there was a tone that was taken with this movie.
Yes.
You did not feel it was appropriate for a Predator movie. That's good. That's the core of it.
But watching a person get ripped in half is always funny. But when it's completely in the dark, all done digitally, it's different than seeing a dummy get, or see like maybe a guy in a harness with green legs.
Of course, but I mean, like,
I want to see something that you go, whoa, how did they do that?
You can't pin that on this movie. That's just like all movies.
But we talked about, when you say hard R, Shane Black, and you're expecting like this bloody thrill kill.
It's pretty bloody.
And it's all digital.
That's just how movies are made these days.
It's not, though. What did we see recently that had a lot of practical effects, and it was gore, and it was, I don't even know what it was. I can't remember. But,
sounds like an awesome movie.
yeah. Shit, I wish I could remember. Anyways, I think that, I know the digital thing is supposed to help save money. And
forget the digital stuff, because even if they did the entire thing practically, even if there was no CGI in the entire movie, which is not really
it still would have been yes,
like,
but
even all that stuff.
But I would have laughed at that shit more. I would have been like, good kills. A lot of it's just like, yeah, point the camera at a green screen and then like throw a thing through the screen and then we'll add everything else later. That just doesn't strike me as good filmmaking. Hashtag competent filmmaking, right? Mac and Me had all practical effects for the most part.
Right. Mac and Me plug.
Go watch our Mac and Me discussion.
I think that you hated this movie more than I liked this movie, which was what I was saying. Like, you definitely have stronger feelings on it than I do.
It's weird because I don't hate it. It's just extremely disappointing. Like this, like I said, that first scene, that just like, I don't know what movie this is. Yeah. This isn't the movie that I was expecting to see. I knew there were gonna be jokes in there, but I didn't realize it was always supposed to be kind of like that borderline of like, this is funny, but should I really be laughing right now? I like it when it's like, oh, I laughed at that and that was inappropriate. There was none of that. There's none of like a dick stabbing would be ha ha ha. I probably shouldn't laugh at a guy getting his dick stabbed.
How about stabbing a guy like 10 times in the stomach? Like,
that was a good one. That was one of the very few. Just like that one, yes, probably has to be digital.
Or just chewing somebody's head off.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Where was like the just ridiculous amounts of just?
I thought that was pretty ridiculous.
But the amount of people that die is just threw a guy, he's dead. Shot a guy, he's dead. It's the, like you said, I'm going to stab dick, I'm going to eat face, I'm going to chop, like that kind of thing. Those are more enjoyable because they are so over the top, past the edge. Like, here's the line, and then went way the fuck over here. I want to see that all the time.
Yeah.
I want to see him grab someone and rip their leg off and then, like, start eating the leg or something.
This was not too far off. So, The Meg came out. I went to go see The Meg. The Meg is, I thought, okay. That I found disappointing.
What did you expect?
Well, what I expected was the movie I just saw tonight.
Oh.
Something that was dumb, that it was just like moving along, but it was mean, it was R-rated, it was just like turn your brain off kind of and just be entertained by carnage.
Yeah.
And The Meg did not deliver on that at all. It was PG-13, it was, whatever. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody out there, like if you're okay with a Predator movie being like what you hope a Meg movie will be, then you'll probably have a good time.
Yeah.
If you're expecting another thing that's like paying reverence to...
Well, a good example would be Meg versus Jaws, the Predator versus Predator. The originals all have this nice, slow, foreboding, serious tone to them. With guys telling jokes.
But sometimes I'm okay with just a giant shark just fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Which is why I like Deep Blue Sea.
Yes, so I get that.
And I would say Predators is like Deep Blue Sea. And they both have Thomas Jane in them.
Yeah, but
They're both dumb movies.
I don't want to spoil anything yet about Thomas
fair
Jane.
enough.
So I love Keegan-Michael Key. I get his humor. I've always loved Luther, Obama's anger translator. I've always just loved the bitch. Like, I'm a Key and Peele fan, but I've liked him since Mad TV. I've always known the Schleuschen, the fucking PE teacher. Oh God, he's the substitute teacher. Like, I like Keegan-Michael Key. His character fits in the movie because you're like, oh, that's the goofball character, and him and Thomas Jane's interactions are really well because they have some kind of background
There's
together, or
like a
whatever.
romance.
But then you add the like helicopter guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is.
Well, you gotta have.
And he's not funny.
Yeah.
He's weird, and it's supposed to be kind of funny how weird he is, but it's not funny. Then you have Nebraska, who he's just cool as a cucumber, right? He's fucked up in the head.
Cool. I liked him.
No, he is. That's what I'm saying. Like, he doesn't try to be funny. Boyd Holbrook doesn't try to really be funny. He plays it pretty much his character would be. And then there's the guy who I didn't understand a single word he said. The guy, Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones guy is the
one who got
helicopter.
Hey, you want to talk about a dick stabbing? He got Game of Thrones. You know, they cut his dick off in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's true.
So
but that didn't happen in the movie.
There's a dick stabbing in the movie, and then one of the characters in the movie was in another show where his dick got cut off.
Dick violence in the world.
And there's a painting, and he says, "I see his unit." There's a lot of dicks. Okay. Do you ask would you rather have a movie with a bunch of like fucking big macho dudes? And like, no, I'm not like one of those guys where I need to have everyone shirtless and muscle bound and cool. It's just that not everyone has to try to be a comedian.
I was gonna say something about the group, but I feel like it's a slight spoiler, so I'll talk about it later.
Okay. But yeah, the character, he's from the Iron Islands. What is his name? Theon Greyjoy.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know his name. Did you have a hard time understanding the dialogue sometimes?
Him, because he has like this
Scottish accent. Yeah. He's more Scottish. But even then, like, there's a lot of like words that were said back and forth that I have no idea what they said, but if I keep watching, I'll probably figure it out. Mm-hmm. This is like, I need subtitles on for a lot of the dialogue.
Well, there was a lot of dialogue.
Yeah. Which is weird for a Predator movie, I guess, and I don't know.
Again, Shane Black movie.
So, yeah, I mean, overall...
I like the cast.
The action...
I thought... I liked
and the
everybody.
kid, the autistic kid.
Yeah. He's okay.
He doesn't need to be in the movie. Why is that in the movie?
It's a Shane Black movie.
Because we have to have the emotional attachment from the father to the... Nobody cared that it was your son.
You remember a Shane Black movie that didn't have a little kid in it?
That's true, but...
It's intelligent, precocious...
He was not... he's intelligent in the movie because he's figured this out, but he barely ever talks.
No, he says, like... nice reverse psychology. I can do that too. And why don't you not go fuck yourself?
And then when he does talk, I'm just like, shut up.
He's okay.
Sterling K. Brown was...
I liked him.
He was good in the beginning until he like became the really big bad guy.
Yeah, I didn't know like he was going to become such a bad guy.
Yeah.
It was, maybe that didn't fit
as much. Because like you probably see the commercial.
It was just like because like he shouldn't have been so likable in the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
That's right. But, like in the first half I was like, yeah, Predator, am I right? And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I guess it's weird to think like the casting for the extras, like you should never be like, what are you talking about? But I feel like a lot of the guys they cast to be extras, especially in the beginning of the movie, were just you cast a kind of chubby little guy over there to play that guy with a gun. Like, he's not imposing or scary at all. All the scientists were just like, I don't know, open casting call, put a lab coat on. None of them felt... Like, Jake Busey, I liked his character. He was not in the movie enough. Felt like his dick should have gotten cut off or something. Like, that would have been something. I don't know.
He survived.
I guess.
For a sequel.
Well, how do you know? You just never saw him again after... There's a lot of... Oh, you just never see that character again for the rest of the movie. All the big bad guys in the military, black uniforms, they're all worthless.
Well, they're there for fodder.
But they're like elite special forces.
That's another point I want to make, but I don't know if it's like a spoiler.
We're gonna about done with the talk of the movie. Then we're gonna get into spoilers pretty soon here. It's just overall, the kid didn't work. Is too funny, but then not funny enough, but then not serious enough, but then tries too hard to be serious, but no one cares. Then the action's just a lot of CG. It's a mixed bag.
I think
I will probably watch parts of this again. Yeah. I will watch the bus scene. I will watch them talking in the house, but then I'll be like, I don't care about the action because the action is just so simple.
There's some fun. I think there's some fun action in it. But I think there's a lot of really great scenes, but it's a super uneven, messy, not edited well movie that maybe flawed at the script stage. but it has worth. I think that there's things that are funny in it. And I keep saying funny because... So again, like, if you don't want to hear that word associated with the movie,
if you've seen...
You're not going to have a good time.
You've seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
See, nothing is funny in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
That's not true.
It's a dark
Well, yeah,
movie,
but that's
right?
a shit...
But you laugh at it because you don't give a shit. You know the characters are dumb. They make mistakes. They do all kinds of stuff. He gets his fingers cut off. Val Kilmer's like this. And you can laugh at it in like a dark comedy kind of way. It's not more like punchline. It's
this
just
is
like...
kind of dark. Like, I tried to kill myself. And I could, there's some... I don't know.
Again, they try, but you're like, no one cares. Because next thing you know, it's like, hey, you like music? I like music. Just like, this doesn't...
Yeah.
You don't need this in the movie. The one-liners, oh my God. Every time I had to hear a phrase from Predator or like a reference to the Predator or reference to Predator, I just want to blow my brains out. I wanted to be like Nebraska and shoot myself in the head.
I don't think there were that many.
Get to the choppers?
Right, yeah. Okay.
We will get there.
One.
Oh, there was 1987, 1999.
That's not a fucking callback.
But then
that's
they go...
just literally continuity.
They go, okay, now I can't talk about it yet because that's part of the plot. No. Okay, spoiler talk now starts. Olivia Munn's character... Fucking kill her right away, please.
Oh, I like
her.
her.
The worst character.
No, she's good.
This is the epitome of hiring Tara Reid to play your scientist in Alone in the Dark.
Why?
She's just... Let's get pretty hot girl, not young girl, but...
It's not her fault she's pretty.
She does not have the gravitas to be
thought
a
she was
scientist.
genuinely excited about alien shit. I thought she was genuinely excited about space dogs. I thought she was... Space dogs in the movie. I enjoyed how she grabbed the shotgun and did all that stuff. I liked her.
See, but I think that's the thing is the character all of a sudden just picks a shotgun.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, she's
action movie. Who cares?
I care.
All right.
I wanted a.
All right, we're actually.
I wanted a fat, ugly scientist. No,
now we're talking about movies.
Yeah,
right?
we're in spoiler territory.
All right, so
I'm just okay.
Here's my.
It's not one. I don't like Olivia Munn, but that's besides the point. I can enjoy her in a movie. I hated her in X-Men because I hated the X-Men movie. That was a bad movie.
Yeah, that's not her fault.
What other shit has she been in that I can even like?
Newsroom.
Nope. I don't know.
HBO show.
I don't care for her in general, but I can get past that if the character they cast her in felt more real. It just seems so.
But none of this shit is real. It's so none of it's fucking real. They're all like there's not a single realistic character in the entire movie.
That's the thing is it doesn't see, but everyone else, like all these special forces,
they're all
guys,
cranked up to 11, including like hot girl scientists. Like that's a trope. That's an archetype.
But that's the one that I don't want to be cranked up to 11. I want all the soldiers to be cranked up because the point is that
I thought at the very least though that she's like hot girl scientist, but she's not just being sexy the whole time. Like,
she's not being sexy at all. But
she's just I don't know.
The weird way they just like grab her and go like, we're gonna throw you and tell you all the government secrets.
Because why not? Let's move the movie along.
And then all of a sudden we're gonna kill her because she knows the government secrets.
Yeah, all of a sudden the bad guys.
And then all of a sudden she's a fucking action hero. All of a sudden, like, where is her guns training?
Who knows what somebody would do in that situation? It's a Shane Black movie. I just think people do this stuff.
Yes,
like Robert Downey Jr. does all kinds of shit in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and he doesn't have any fucking like action chops or anything like that. I don't know. It's just
he doesn't pick up fucking machine guns and start shooting grenade launchers.
There's a thing where he's hanging off the car and then grabs the gun in midair and shoots somebody. Like that's
he pulls his one. Yeah, whatever.
Anyway,
it's not that it's Olivia Munn. It's just part of it. But I don't like it when they get the science person and they throw them into this thing that they're like...
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're just like, oh, let me look at this iPad. Oh, look at the double helix. There's all this DNA stuff. You don't know. They showed graphics and it means
she's a stereotype as much as anybody else.
That's the thing is I don't like how dumb of a stereotype it is.
Okay, but like...
I wish they would treat the science with
the
a little
army
more...
wife is a stereotype. Like the autistic kid's a stereotype. The army sniper that...
But they're in the movie a lot less. They're in the movie a lot less, and they don't matter.
Right.
They literally don't matter.
I
don't like when they take the scientists and they make them seem like they're fucking geniuses because they... No, you do look at a little thing and you know all the stuff, and then you're like, how the fuck... How? Oh, they're evolving. They're combining the DNA. You don't know shit. This is the first time you've even seen this fucking thing. You've never seen another one. How do you know it's evolving to a new state? For all you know, they have predators that are 7 feet tall, predators that are 11 feet tall, and predators that are 25 feet tall. You literally know nothing.
They're driving around in an RV like the Scooby van. Like, Who cares?
And she's got a microscope from like a high school in the 1980s, and she's like, I cracked the code. It's stupid. I always take it for science is
okay.
If you just wash it away and you just said we figured this out, it'd be fine. But when they try to act like I solved it and I did this thing, and you're like, you literally have no bearing or any background information to be able to make this assumption on anything, and it's dumb. Which you say, fine, it's supposed to be dumb. Then take it out of the movie. It doesn't need to be in there.
No, it's a dumb movie.
It doesn't need to have more dumb.
I don't know, man. Once you start committing to the dumb, like it's just about like stacking it on top of itself.
There's a dumb limit. But
it's a dumb movie, and I don't mean like it tried to be a smart movie and then it ended up dumb. But it's a dumb movie.
But I feel like all the stuff where they try to explain the science is where they try to go, we're not dumb.
This has Space Dog that gets shot in the head. And then all of a sudden, it's a nice doggy.
Its tail wagging.
Okay?
Its tail was wagging.
It's dumb as fucking shit. But I fucking loved it. I don't care. This is how Shane Black of a Shane Black movie this is. A fucking pit bull shows up. It goes, woo, woo, and you think, oh, the Predator's gonna kill the dog. And Shane Black's like, who do you think's steering this ship? I'm not gonna kill the dog. Not only am I not gonna kill the dog, the space dog that's scary, we're gonna turn that into the cute.
What happened to the dog anyways?
Nebraska put a bullet in its head, and that gave it like a weird lobotomy thing.
No, the actual dog.
Oh, it like
It was running out, and they were like gonna let it on the RV, and then they just didn't. Like he was running towards the thing.
Well,
like,
I thought that was gonna become like the mascot.
Yeah.
And then it was like, why are we doing this when we have a space dog? The space dog should be the mascot.
Yeah. So, the plot here.
Do you want to read this? I can read that text.
Yeah, we'll read the text near the end. So, okay, let me talk about the book for a second. Now, the book's plot is a story about Project Stargazer, and it's basically a elite military unit that the CIA gets to kind of get their fingers in sometimes, and there's a guy in the CIA who was in the Vietnam War, and he fought a predator back then, and he was the only one that survived. All his men were killed. Very Arnold-esque. Even kind of had a fight with it, I think, a little bit. He puts together a group called the Reapers. The Reapers are a group of 8 military guys, and they're total special ops, like, they don't exist on the rate. They nothing, they're black helicopter, that shit. They eventually catch a predator. They get some technology. The predator gets away. There's a big fight. The predator dies. All the team with the Reapers end up dying eventually. And the guy who survives this book is Sterling K. Brown, whose character is in The Predator, and he's completely different in the book than he is in the movie, so they're kind of weird for me, because I was like, watching the movie going, that's not how that character was at all, but whatever. And then Jake Busey's character, which is the scientist, which is...
Gary Busey's kid.
Yeah, from Predator 2. Predator 2 gets referenced, like, multiple times in this book. Arnold Schwarzenegger, never referenced.
Well, he didn't want to be in the movie.
No, but, like, the jungle never gets referenced. They talk about how there's a lot of, sightings, lore, like, oh, they've been coming here for centuries. We know because of all these, like, folklores, it matches up. So... I want to get to that point in the movie where they talked about the 2 dates, right? So this one really focuses a lot on L.A., Predator 2. And I don't know if it's because there's a rights issue and they just really couldn't mention Predator 1 because Arnold didn't want to do it or what, but really the L.A. one is what gets brought up a lot. So in the movie, he's talking to Olivia Munn, of course, just like, let me just tell you all of her secrets. 1987, 1997, which is Predator 1 and 2, and then also all other recent sightings. So he starts talking, saying like, oh, this thing has happened like twice in the last 30 years, and then he goes, and it's been increasing frequency. What does that mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you literally said there's these 2 times that happened, there are other 2 movies we know about, and then with increasing frequency. But all these other ones, they literally didn't say that anything ever happened.
Yeah.
Like, are they saying that predators have been coming for like the last 10 years? Like, oh, 1997, and then like 2005, 2007, 2009, 2012, like, oh, every couple of years? No, they just gloss over that whole thing. But hey, they had to let you know, Predator 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
You know what's interesting is that, like, the plot of this is furthest away from its strong points. But I remember when they first started talking about it, and this is how much I can imagine how much the struggle was in getting this script in tip-top shape, which they did not do before they started shooting. And then they had to do reshoots and stuff. Because I remember originally he was talking about it as like a globe-trotting, almost private investigator type thing.
That would have been more interesting.
Where it would have been them going around the world, following up on things. They would have gone and talked to Dutch. They would have gone and talked to, Danny Glover. They would have talked to whoever, like, oh, in this village, this thing,
That's what this is. It's like there have been more that have happened. We have not captured any technology, any aliens, any proof.
Yeah.
There, except for like a couple blurry pictures, whatever. But the idea is it happened, and they've been logging them. And the crazy guy who says he's seen the alien and fought it, everyone's just like, oh, that crazy guy. But he was actually right. But there are enough people that believe him because they put together this dossier of like, look at all these incidents, right? And so when they actually find them to capture them, it was some guy wrote like an AI routine. It was like, analyze all the news, analyze police scanners, analyze this, and then anything that sounds like hits all these keywords, that's probably a predator. And that's how they find, go to Florida, which if you notice, there's a Georgia license plate.
Yeah.
The book and the movie take place somewhere around the Georgia-Florida state line where there's like swamps and, forest and shit. So there it was like they've been tracking it based on like mutilated, and they couldn't solve that kind of thing. That's how they figured this out. Here it's just like fucking alien or the thing spaceship came out of the fucking sky and they were there within 2 minutes. You're like, how the heck did they? What? How did they know? I don't know. But anyways, the whole point of referencing the first two movies and then saying it's been happening more, but then not referencing those at all. So what does that mean? Has it happened twice? Has it happened 20 times? Why even say that if you're not going to follow it up a little bit? And what's it with her running around with that little pneumatic gun? I was like, is that even what is that thing until they finally shot a dart out of it? I'm sorry, I just had a tangent on that one.
I knew it was a tranquilizer gun. So, did you like anything?
I like the okay.
Would you talk about something you like, and I'll talk about things that I was disappointed by.
Let's just go through beginning start. So the spaceship, Star Wars crap, crash lands. Predator shoots out the life raft, very much a Prometheus, the ending of Prometheus. Like, the ship's gonna crash, dump you out, right? When he was on the spaceship, the first time you see him, I was just like, bad creature design. Like, to Jason X.
I said to say something you like about the movie.
I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
So, terrible, like, you first see him and you're just like, which is the one you see at the end. Oh god, the last scene in the movie was so bad.
It is, well...
Hey, did you guys know Predator's anime?
Hey, I'll include that in mine, okay?
Did you know the Predator's Gundam?
I will go with you on that one.
You first see it and I'm like, oh, I hate the way it looks. It looks more like the AVP Predators.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like the Predator's Predator, not like Predator and Danny Glover Predator. Like, those two feel, like, these other ones are always like too sleek, too shiny. Like the original Predator had like leather on and shit. These are all just looking metalled up and stuff. It's very much Jason X. But then when you see him on the gurney and he breaks out to get his shit, that's a fucking Predator with mask, body, practical effects. I liked that. It looked good. And then they never did it again. Yeah.
That's it? That one scene?
Well, yeah. Let's just go through the movie. So what happens? They capture a Predator. They invite Livia Munn to go look at it for no reason really, other than she's a biologist and she had a paper that she wrote to the president when she was 6 years old.
She wrote the book on evolutionary biology.
Yeah, and she's gonna be naked in the decontamination chamber. So you're like, oh, are we gonna see her naked? You're like, of course not.
Yeah.
And then the Predator stuff happens, and then there's an autistic kid. And I don't even want to talk about it. It's fucking bad.
Okay.
You go through the plot a little bit.
I mean, the plot's really bad and kind of like messy, so it's kind of not.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so your main character, who's the dude from Narcos and the bad guy and Logan and a bunch of other stuff.
Hey, did you know that the Predators have farming predators?
Well, I'm sure. I mean, everybody's got a job to do. They can't just hunt all the time.
Sorry, I got to go back finish this before we get to the movie part. This one has a lot of inner monologue. The Predator, like, oh, I should have been doing this, and oh, I'm hurt, and these humans, this and that. It seems completely out of place because the inner monologue of the Predator sounds like humans' inner monologue, which means the writer did not think to like kind of step out of being human. Mm-hmm. There are other Predator books where they've explored their society a little bit, and there have been times where they've like talked or like you've had some thought to the Predator and they're very sparse. This one has like 3-4 pages in a row of just like, this is what it's thinking and going through its mind, and it just sounds dumb. He's like, if I want to do that, I could have been farming. And I'm like, fucking Predators have farms? Like, what do you... I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm just, from everything we know, it's like, don't even go there. Who gives a shit?
I'm already like kind of on board with Predators not being that different from humans.
Also, I love to find stupid plot. Yeah, I know. Well, when we get to the plot of the movie, now we know why. On the back of the book, it says Reavers, right? When they're in the book, they're all called Reapers. They literally fucked up the back of the book. Couldn't even get the name right. In there, he fights an alligator or a crocodile with no weapons. I would love to have seen that in a movie. Because it was...
You want to see a big CGI crocodile?
I would like to see a Lake Placid versus a Predator or something. No, it's one of the things where, like, in there, it was written in a way they're like, that was a good fight. He didn't use any weapons. He only used his claws, not even the wrist blades. And he got fucked up by an alligator. And he was like, I'm going to test myself. And he had to fucking wrap his legs around it, hold the jaw, snap the neck, and it fucked him up. Like, that's what you need to see from a Predator movie is, like, go watch him fight something. He's Mr. Badass, but watch him go get fucked up. Which is what they do. They have the big Predator come and beat him up real fast. And you go, oh, that's even bigger Predator. That's stupid. They mention he sees a guy and he calls him the gray-haired guy. Do Predators see in color? Because from everything we know, they can't really see that good.
Well, what do they see when they don't have a mask on?
Remember in Predator 1, when he takes the mask off, everything is like red? It's like infrared, but not as good as his mask. His mask has infrared, ultraviolet, like all these things.
Maybe for him, gray is just like a shade of red.
It's just, again, this is what I mean inner monologue, like, call him the gray-haired guy, like, we would understand that, but I'm like, I don't know that they see in color. From everything we've learned about Predators, that...
They see some shade of something, though.
They have the
it's
mask...
like people that are colorblind, they would still be like, oh, yeah, that's gray.
Not necessarily. They go, is that green? I don't know. They have, the mask can
How do you know that we're not both seeing different
colors? Yeah, I know. So there's just some stuff in the book that, whatever. So the movie.
Oh, am I allowed to talk again?
Yeah, sorry. This is what happens. It's like the It review, where I just got in here and was just like, I'm fucking upset.
It's all right.
This is a letdown. After all these years getting a Predator movie, and Shane Black being attached, and you're just like, meh.
It was fun. So, things I will concede.
You don't have to concede. You can talk about whatever you like.
No, it's fine. They heard me talk about it.
I don't want all of it to be bad, but...
No, they heard me talk. I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed the soldiers, the actors. I thought the dialogue was funny. When the movie tried to be a gross out, like, I thought it was successfully, like, pretty violent.
Yeah.
I thought that definitely the scene where the Predator escapes out of the scientific facility is one of the high water marks.
Because that felt like
fucked shit up.
That felt like cool. A Predator. Like, if the rest of the movie was that escape scene, I would have probably been like okay with a lot of it. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about we end the movie on like flying, hanging on the outside of a spaceship that's going through the atmosphere.
Although I did think it was, I was kind of into it when Nebraska was like stuck outside the thing and he flips him off one time. I don't know. I liked it.
All right, let's just barrel through. Okay, they capture Predator.
Yeah.
He gets loose because
this sniper guy.
They put restraints on him that don't do anything.
Yeah.
They sedate
but there's
him.
two different stories going on. There's a government that's like actively trying to, stargazing government people or whatever that are trying to like, keep a lid on this Predator thing. And then you have Olivia Munn, who's the scientist, gets sucked up into it. And then you have your main sniper guy character who encounters a Predator randomly in like Mexico or something. And because he saw one, the government wants to make sure he stays silent or something, so they say, "Ooh, he's AWOL, he's crazy."
I don't understand why, in movies like this, why they always try to scapegoat a guy instead of inviting him into the project.
I don't know.
Because he's like, this is an asset.
I didn't quite understand that either, especially after Sterling Brown seemed like he was kind of like impressed by him.
Yeah, you're like, why wouldn't you have Boyd Holbrook join the team?
I don't know. They didn't. I think this movie unsuccessfully made Stargazer as sinister.
Yeah.
As they turned out to be later, that needed to be a little bit more like that out of the game.
There are a lot of times in this book they refer to the company, but when they say company men,
you think like
I think they mean like CIA or like company like.
I thought you were gonna say Weyland-Yutani.
Or like I'm in the company of heroes, meaning like military. In the back of my mind the whole time, I'm like, are they gonna ever say Weyland or Yutani? Because by the end of this, I want to hear that the company who's actually trying to do this project is actually Peter Weyland or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that would have been like the boom, drop that in there and throw it in the movie.
So,
but no, there's never any Weyland-Yutani anywhere in the book or the movie.
The main dude, McKenna, whatever his name is, he gets
Boyd Holbrook's character is McKenna.
What's his name?
McKenna.
No, the actor's name.
Boyd Holbrook.
Boyd Holbrook.
Right.
So he ends up like with all these other crazies who have been hanging out with each other for a while because they're all been detained in like I guess military like loony bin. That's the best I got. My impression from the scenes I saw in the trailer was that they were together a unit.
Oh.
not becoming a thing, but like they already all knew. I thought it was a little bit strange and awkward for him to like join their group, for him to like it caused so many.
Fine.
It's not bad, but
Of all the things for you to care, like that seems like the least does not matter. It's fine.
It's not, but I'm making my way through.
Okay.
I would have preferred it if they were actually just all know each other. The military wife is just like completely useless. Like just didn't even need to be there. Like, oh, he never sees us. Like I can tell. I don't even know why you're in here.
I wanted to look up on IMDb like what the age of the actors, like the kid actor and the mom was, because I looked at her, I was like, she's too young to have that kid.
She's in Handmaid's Tale. She's great.
Oh, so I'll never watch that because it's too scary.
It's scary. She's scary.
Yeah, she's very pretty and seems very young, and I'm like, you can't be his mom. I mean, yeah, you could have the kid when you were really young, but that's usually just like, I just hate it when you see movies sometimes and you go, those parents don't look like the parents of that kid. Breaks the illusion.
So the rest of the movie is essentially like, hey, chaos, Predator gets out.
Wait. I have a question. So they put him on a bus.
Yeah. Theoretically, it's going to go somewhere.
Wait, let's slow down here. They put him on a bus to take him somewhere. Where he was being interviewed, just, whatever.
Yeah.
And Sterling K. Brown, Traeger is his character, was two-way glass, or one-way mirror. They put him on a bus where Traeger was already at the place that Boyd Holbrook was at. Mm-hmm. And then he goes on the bus to the place that Traeger is at somehow. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, they start off...
I don't know why they're in the same place.
Like, physically they're in the same place, and then where's the bus going?
My best guess is, like, they're just kind of keeping him...
Where was the bus going?
It's a therapy.
Why did the bus end up on the military base with the secret alien on it?
I don't know.
That's what, I mean, again, you're like, well, don't pull the plot apart, but like, no, it makes no sense. They mentioned there was like
the plot moves along like
they were at like not a nursery home? What do you call it, like an old folks home, but not a hospice, but there was a sign they drove past the bus that said like Georgia Leafs Nursery. Yeah. So were they just dumping a bunch of like ex-military crazy guys in a old folks home?
Listen, they needed a crazy Dirty Dozen style group thing there, okay?
And they got it. So yeah, but the bus that takes them from the VA hospital, where all the crazy guys are at, they take the bus to the secret facility because Olivia Munn, who's not part of this project at all, who's just been brought on board, demands that she gets to question the guy who did it. And they're like, okay, bring in.
To be fair, that's kind of an important thing. You'd want to talk to somebody that.
Yes, but it feels like all the people that are part of this government conspiracy thing don't give a shit about that because they're literally going to go, like you said, go get him lobotomized. We're like, he could be an asset.
Yeah, it didn't make much sense.
It doesn't make much sense.
But if they made Stargazer more evil in the beginning and more cutthroat about those kind of things, but the tone, yeah. Hey, I didn't say this movie's perfect. In fact, I'm willing to just go ahead and say the movie's not good.
It's not good.
But there's a lot of stuff in it I like. So
it's entertaining if you like that kind of entertainment.
It's entertaining.
You know what I mean? Like
but I do like that.
It's not boring. It's not slow. It's just that I'm not really entertained by that too much. I think it's just like any Transformers bullshit. I don't care.
I'm just like still thinking like the dude makes the fucking like tinfoil unicorn, and then like off camera he's like, yeah, it's shit. It's funny. I enjoyed that. Okay.
I think what was okay. So the Predator breaks away. Olivia Munn's fucking chasing the Predator while all these dudes with like big guns are driving past her the other direction, and she's sitting there running out.
Yeah.
Just. Okay, I know unrealistic. Nothing's real, but like, all of a sudden her just tracking ability and she's just amazing. She jumps on the fucking bus as it's moving.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, and then shoots herself in the foot.
Like, it just...
Literally.
Yeah. Okay. She shoots herself in the foot. The bus is there. They try to shoot the Predator. The bus shoots the bus tire, or the Predator shoots the bus tire and it crashes, or they have to stop. As they're out and they see a bunch of military guys and they're hiding behind the bus, Nebraska looks over and sees on a secret military base with an alien in it, there's a bunch of fucking Harley Davidsons parked outside. And he says, get to the choppers. Not smiling, not laughing, totally serious, like big wink wink, but not really with the winking.
I don't know why they're Harley Davidsons.
And then they all, and then this fucking crazy group, the Hateful Eight, on fucking...
Yeah, but then they beat them up with a motorcycle. Like, they used the motorcycle to beat them up. That was
not
cool.
The Predator, but a guy.
Yeah, like a dude.
So stupid. It's so stupid. And then the Predator,
this is great. Fuck you. This is so good. If you're talking about what I think you're talking about.
I am.
Oh, it's so good.
Please, everybody comment and tell if you've seen the movie or you don't, just this part right here, if this belongs in this kind of movie. This is what I mean by tone. Okay, so there's a military truck driving out of the base. What?
Oh, maybe we are talking about different scenes.
Go ahead. There's a military truck. Okay, the base is on like complete lockdown, by the way. Yeah. Everyone's scrambling, but for some reason there's a truck driving out of the base. There's a bunch of guys in the back, you know? Yeah. I guess the Predator jumps in the truck and like kills everybody in the back.
Oh, that was not what I was thinking of. But now that I do know what you're thinking of, I'm still like completely on board.
All right, so the Predator jumps in the back of these like, open back trucks that you see where like, the tailgate flips down and all the guys jump out, right? It's one of those. So there's like 4 guys back. He comes in and cuts everybody to fucking pieces. The guy driving is like, hey, you guys okay back there? The Predator picks up a hand or arm that he had cut off of someone. It was like, just a hand on the ground like this, and you see him pick it up. And then you see the bus driver, he's like this, and there's the window to the back of the bus, and out of the little window comes a fucking hand with the thumbs up.
I laugh.
What did the driver say? He was like, you assholes, or something like that?
Yeah, something.
So you're telling me the Predator who came to Earth to warn us about climate change.
You can't...
And to give us the answers to save humanity.
You can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
I wish we could start with the plot, the actual real plot you learn at the end of the movie. I wish we could open this video, because if anyone's made it this far, great, but people aren't going to make it that far. If I told them the plot of the movie in the first 10 seconds, they'd go, I have to watch this YouTube video. This is amazing. What they know about English translations, I have no fucking clue. But the fact that he knew that, A, this was a gesture in humanity.
Yeah.
When, again,
he knows.
You read this, and you read other Predator books, and you see other Predator lore, Predators don't seem like they understand humans.
Don't hunters know that, like, deer calls and duck calls and things?
So he has a human whistle?
He knows what a thumbs up means.
But he picked it up, and he was like, took the hand and was like...
No, it was already like that. It just happened to be like that already.
No, it wasn't. You picked it, the hand was like this.
Oh.
Yeah, he killed a guy in mid-thumbs up. He was like, hey, Predator, oh no!
Can I get a selfie or a picture of you?
Or he was like, the guy talking, he was like, hey, buddy, how's it going? And then the thing goes, ching! No, it's, that is a Shane Black joke. Yes. It would have been funny in any other movie. Like, if it was a murdering serial killer that did it, okay, it's a fucking alien.
I loved it.
Does not belong in this movie.
I thought you were talking about the part where he grabs the kid and then holds him hostage. Or he grabs one of the soldiers and he makes them all put down their guns.
That one I can actually understand a little bit more. That one's where
I like the human-predator interaction.
Yeah.
That they're not some, like... It's different with, like, xenomorphs where it's just, like, I'm more into, like, the Lovecraftian, you can't possibly understand them. They're just too fucking weird.
Yeah, they're only there for destruction.
Predators to me are like that's kind of the whole point. Like, they're like humans.
There are us regressed, but us also evolved.
Yeah,
it's like a weird mix of both.
Right. You know? So I like it I do kind of like it when there's like a common. That's why it's so cool at the end of the original Predator when he's like, all right, we're gonna fist fight it.
Yeah.
Like that was cool. That's like a very human moment.
And also the ha ha ha. You know, he gets a lot. Either way, that thumbs up thing. But then the one that you're talking about, I appreciate that too because what happens, he's holding the guy, and they're all pointing his guns down. And the Predator goes like, he literally like points at them and goes, you know, kind of go away.
Yeah.
Or get out of here. And he's like, okay, put your guns down. I could actually. I'm trying to. The plot in my head that you learn later just makes everything make no sense though. There's like a mulligan near the end that makes everything else make. I don't know. Because he should have been fighting. If he was really there to help humanity, why was he fighting and killing everybody?
Because he needed the thingy.
He was just so angry. Now
the plot sucks.
There is a thing.
I'm not defending the plot.
There is a thing in Predator lore from a lot of the books that, like, the thrill of the hunt to them would be the equivalent of someone like us losing our temper and blacking out and doing something that we regret. So they would be like, oh, I want to be peaceful Predator and I want to show a human. But then, you know, imagine a human comes up and goes like that to him. And he just bloodlust and he can't control it and he kills everybody.
Yeah.
And he goes, man, I shouldn't have killed everybody, but it felt really good when I did it. You know, that is a thing that you could see that maybe in the middle of a fight, he loses track of what he's supposed to be doing. He kills a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But no, the Predator kills a bunch of people, but then we find out the Predator was there to help humanity from other bad predators.
Yeah.
He was a rogue. Rogue. What's that from? Rogue. It's from a movie. God damn it, I'm gonna think.
Nobody's ever said rogue before in a movie. All right, so
He's like smoking a cigarette or smoking some weed, and he's like,
whatever.
rogue.
There's a whole bunch of nothing burger. There's a whole bunch of...
There's a lot of Asperger.
Yeah. I didn't get the joke until the second time it was said.
I
just thought they were just like, Asperger. Like, I just want that Asperger.
I get it.
And I'm like, this is a really, really strange word choice. And I was like, oh, Asperger's.
I get it.
But originally, I'm like,
I literally didn't get it until you said it out loud to me.
okay.
Because they didn't say like Asperger, they were like Asperger.
I'm ready. Yum, yum. I'm ready for an Asperger. I'm like, what is going on?
And in my mind, it was like they're gonna beat ass, like they're gonna whoop his ass. You know, you're gonna get Asperger. Yeah, there's like kid bullies. I'm so sick of seeing kid bullies in movies and shit. They're just so like. There's bullies at every age, but those are too smart. They're bullies.
That's
are
a
dumb.
very like Decker Black thing. Black and Decker.
Black and Decker. So
It doesn't matter. They're running around. They're trying to find a thing that I don't even understand what it is. And
then interspersed with this is the fact that in the beginning of the movie, Boyd Holbrook, when he fought a predator, he took the helmet that he found, gave it to some guy in Mexico to mail to his P.O. box, while he then took the little
ball that makes you
invisible, and he swallowed it. And I looked over at you guys in the movie and was like, there is going to be a scene where he's going to shit this out and dig through his own shit, right? Never. Okay.
Well,
it happened all off camera.
I did at some point just be like, doesn't he have the fucking thing?
Yeah. And how long? So how much time has passed from when it happened to when he was being in the bus?
I don't know.
It felt like weeks, right? Because the postman said, your dad hasn't been paying his P.O. box bill. I have all his mail. That means it must have been sitting there for a while. He ingested, it would have been like 2 days.
All of this stuff was overly complicated. They had a ship somewhere that somebody was looking for. They had a weapon somewhere that somebody's looking for. We have another alien somewhere that everybody's looking for. There's just too many things in play.
Yeah.
And then it finally...
There's a predator, then there's a bigger predator.
Yeah.
And the bigger predator also has dogs. And one of the dogs is crazy, and the other dog is nice. There's so much.
But at some point, eventually, it all goes away because they get to the ship, and now there's just a big predator, and the big predator says, all I want to do now is I want to hunt McKenna, the main he
doesn't even say hunt. He says, I want your best warrior, which is McKenna.
But he does the hunter warrior spirit thing where he goes like, I'm gonna give you guys like an 8-minute head start.
Yeah, which makes us believe he wants to kill. Well, he really wants Boyd Holbrook's character. He wants him as a trophy. But then you find out what he meant was...
That's misdirection.
He wants his son because his son was smart and... Okay, let me just break this down.
By the way, before you, because I was on the Twitters, and a lot of people are very excited that this is like a pro-autism thing.
It's not. I've heard this before about... And I agree. Autism is not necessarily a disability. It's kind of like the joke we made a long time ago that we can't talk about some movie we were going to make. Anyways, autism, the idea that they're different than us. They're not disabled. They just have different social...
Or at least, just say it. The movie says...
Well, but I'm saying that the real thing is talked about. Like, autism is a spectrum. Not everyone's the same. Some less and some more. They don't all do math. They don't all do... They have each thing, whatever. The idea there is that there's nothing wrong with them. It's just they might not do social interactions the way we do. They might not respond to anxiety the way we do, but they're extremely intelligent. Like, you ever seen like an autistic kid do like a Rubik's Cube? Like the idea that they can focus and really get crazy at something. So the idea is, now here's where it gets stupid, that's an evolved form of human. That autism is like a mutation that's Darwin, that it's evolving. And, okay, if we were evolved into autism, we would die as a species because we probably would be like pandas and we wouldn't fucking make more babies. Because I don't think autistic people are thinking about fucking as much as a regular person about procreating the species alive. So that's a stupid thing to say. I agree, autism is not a thing that you have to look down on. They need help. They need therapy and help and to treat. They need earmuffs if they have issues. That's just dealing with it. They're extremely intelligent. I know people have Asperger's. I work with them sometimes. They're fine. But to call it an evolution of the human race is a fucking long shot, and it sounds stupid. It makes your scientists sound stupid in your movie.
Did you see Split?
Yeah.
That's basically the same thing.
He can turn himself into an actual monster.
Right. But no, but the sci-fi premise it's going for is that maybe if you have multiple personality disorder, That's the point of the movie. Maybe if you have multiple personality disorder, that's actually an evolutionary trait that makes you like. That's the whole point of that movie, by the way. You just completely missed that.
I took it as when the beast comes.
No, it's said out loud. Like, it's not like.
But I take it as the only thing that's good of that is that the idea that, like, imagine, like, oh, you only use 10% of your brain. What if you're going to lock the rest? Is that when he thinks he's this animal, it's strong enough to actually make his brain transform his body.
That the only way you could get to that point would be like. Anyway, point being.
Why would you need multiple personalities to do that? The idea.
I don't know, but I'm not saying that move. That move's stupid too.
We're reviewing Split. I like Split.
Split's fine.
But the idea there is that, like, if you had enough willpower, you could will your body into growing a certain way.
It wasn't about willpower.
That would be an evolution.
It was about having specifically multiple personality disorder.
But the idea that if your brain was strong enough, it could manifest physically.
Anyway.
So that's stupid. But they take it to a point where the Predator wants the autistic kid because the autistic kid
he's got the good genes.
Oh god, we skipped over something else to get to there. Because the autistic kid was able to figure out the Predator technology because he played it like a video game to unlock doors and shit. Which I don't know why he would need them because they know how their own technology works.
He looked pretty cute wandering around on Halloween with the big Predator mask on.
Yes. Which then we learn.
That's all they were thinking about.
A junkie throws a rock at the kid. He's like, I'll give you a trick. It's Halloween, trick or treat. And then the mask has a little thing pop out, turn around, and it shoots the house and just fucking blow. Yeah. Good explosion, right? And you go, oh, the mask can just have like auto defense on it. That's pretty cool when it comes back later. But just the idea that the Predator wants the autistic kid because he's really smart.
Yeah.
Okay. The plot of this movie is, the real plot of this movie, I don't know how I'm going to say this, Predators have not been taking trophies all these years. All the things we know about Predators is wrong. Basically, yeah, you talked about how you wanted Shane Black to flip the script and like take the piss out of our Predator movie and give something that we didn't know we wanted or unexpected. Here's what was unexpected. Predators have not been taking trophies all these years. They cut out your head and your spine because they want your spinal fluid. So they can take the DNA from all the best warriors, so, the Arnold Schwarzeneggers of the world, they want the strongest ones because they'll have the DNA they want. So they can mix it with other alien races of trophies they've taken with the spines, and they can mix the spinal fluids together and then mix it with DNA from predators and make better predators. That's the point of this fucking movie. You call that a retcon because it changes everything that's ever happened in the Predator universe about why they are and why they act the way they do.
It could just be that not all of them are like that.
Just a small section of them?
Just like,
no, they all
they're the ones that are like taking steroids. And there's ones that are like pure.
We don't do HGH.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the rogue one. The guy who came to Earth was like, they're being bad.
Yeah.
Global warming.
I didn't get the global warming bit.
Well, the world's getting hotter.
Right.
And they like heat. Like predators love.
So that's why they're killing more of us more frequently?
Yes, because it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter.
And they're trying to squeeze out whatever they can.
Traeger says very much like, how many more generations of humans can we do if the world's going to keep getting hotter? 2 generations? One? Okay, it's not 1 generation, maybe like 4 or 5. Like, yeah, like maybe in like 150 years, this planet might be fucking bad, who knows? And at that point, they would want to come here because they like it. So they're going to wipe out the entire human species? Wouldn't the Earth do that for us?
No, I thought that the point was like try to find the good genes before we're all gone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're trying to get all the good humans.
That's okay.
Before they all go extinct.
I can compartmentalize.
And then they can live here. It's fucking dumb.
All right, I'm going to talk about the next part that actually bothered me.
So the fact that this autistic kid was what they wanted.
I was already like on board with this movie at this point, so like that stuff was just it was just as stupid as the rest of the movie, so I didn't have a problem with it.
In the first Predator movie, it's literally an alien who likes hunting big muscle guys. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it has to be.
You've seen that already.
Why? Okay, it doesn't have to be that. Predators had an interesting plot to it. It was the idea that like, well, we'll just keep getting all the good ones and we'll put them on a nature preserve and we'll hunt them for fun. Instead of going to Earth, it's a little bit, it's fine, makes sense. You don't have to do the same thing, but just how fucking convoluted and silly and stupid it was.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
And that's the thing that's what made the movie bad. You stripped out all that shit. You probably could have had this group of guys.
I still feel like that's studio stuff. That's somebody like saying.
You have to explain the science or something.
You just have to make it like more complicated than it needs to be. I bet Shane Black like out of the gate was just like.
Well, you don't know. So
I don't know. That's true. Let me talk about something that I agree with you that I didn't like about the movie. One thing I was disappointed in was, for me, even when you're taking Predator into such wildly different tonal territory,
Yeah.
I still expect some kind of plan, take the fight back to the Predator thing. And
The traps thing that I talked
whatever. It could be traps, it could be this, whatever the point is that, human ingenuity,
Yes.
whatever. And they kind of did a limp-wristed attempt at it, but it was kind of not very good. And
At
it was
one
very
point,
slapdash. And
near the end. Can you
that being
explain
said,
to
I
me?
did like how they took out the big Predator at the end.
That's what we're talking about. So I'm confused. So they run off into the woods at one point. Okay, the humans are at odds with each other, and then they realize they should work together because the Predator's going to kill them all or something like that. They become friends, and then the guy shoots himself in the head.
Yeah.
They go off into the woods, and they say, like, oh, there's a clearing up ahead. We'll go set it like a trap. And they put claymores out. And then at one point, they finally get the Predator to stand where there's like 3 of them pointed, like kind of in a triangle, and he's in the middle. And they do it, and it does a bunch of like powder smoke.
And then
they shoot a fire, and he lights on fire. What fucking claymores were these?
I don't know.
Did they take a claymore, then take it apart, put gunpowder in it instead of like the...
I don't know how that stuff works. Somebody in the comments will probably tell us, like, oh, actually...
I mean, because they were like military unit. The claymores would have been for defense. It would have been something that shot a bunch of pellets. I don't know why it can light them on fire all of a sudden. It made no sense. Keegan-Michael Key dies. His gut's hanging out.
Yeah, that was all right. And he's like, ow!
The main character of this one, Tomlin, who, as I read this book, even though it's not the same character, the character in here, Tomlin, I just, in my mind, pictured Boyd Holbrook as the character in this one, and then I see him in the movie. He dies. He's holding his... He's like, I'm afraid if I take my hand off, my guts are going to fall out. And he picks up a Predator spear and then goes, oh, both hands, I'll kill the Predator. And then, oh, there go my guts. And then it's weird that then also somebody died with their guts hanging out in this movie. It's like very... Okay, same thing again. Just weird. Anyways. Wow, this movie is a weird movie.
Yeah. So they all die, and they go riding around on the ship for a little bit.
They like go one by one to the point where Boyd Holbrook's the only character left. And then,
I like the way Nebraska went.
So, they're literally hanging on the ship as it's flying off, and then Livy Munn shoots a grenade at it, and it's smoking. Yeah. And then the guy gets his legs cut off because the shield that's protecting the ship. But, okay, this is good sci-fi. As dumb as this scene is, this is good sci-fi. Predator ship. They have this, shield around it. Like Star Trek.
Force field
shit, right? When you turn it on, it goes around the ship. But it's actually like, here's the ship, here's the shield, right? There's like a gap.
Yeah.
And so they see it coming, and Boyd Holbrook goes, oh, he dives underneath it, and then Nebraska jumps on top of it, and the other guy standing there, it goes and cuts his legs off, and he flies away. So Boyd Holbrook underneath the shield, Nebraska on top, and they're looking at each other, and obviously Nebraska's going to die because the thing's
losing atmosphere.
Yeah. Oh, he starts bleeding out of his mouth for some reason.
Well, I just thought they were too high.
But why would that? And then he's like, ha ha ha.
What happen when you're? I don't fucking know.
See, I thought he was going to pass out, but then he's able to get up and then run.
Yeah.
But so his idea was I can get underneath the shield, and then the ship's behind me, and the shield's in front of me. I have this little buffer where I can live in here, basically. That was good sci-fi. And then, Nebraska jumps and runs and jumps into, like, the jet turbine.
Shoots it a little bit
which I don't know if these things have jet turbines on them because they fucking interstellar travel, whatever. He gets sucked into the jet engine, basically, and that's how it crashes.
They're riding around and it crashes, and then they have a showdown with the big Predator, and I thought it was kind of cool. Like, the kid uses his knowledge to chop the Predator's arm off with the force field, which we had already seen it do before, and then...
oh, Livy Munn's there! She's been invisible, and all of a sudden she just jumps off a rock.
She shoots him in the head a bunch of times, and at close range, and it's like, ow! And
there's a lot of... So when I talk about, like, dumb action, like, okay, a lot of action, but, like, at least the action was good. A lot of the action is just scenes where they shoot guns at predators or predator dogs, and the bullets don't do anything. But they just continually keep doing it. And it's not interesting.
Did something. This one went, oh, shit, ow.
Or, like, when you walked with the dog, it was like, bang, 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 bang.
Okay.
It actually killed the dog.
I thought it was pretty cool when Boyd Holbrook picked up the severed arm of the big predator, which still had, like, an arm...
Which was all of a sudden way bigger than it was when it was on the Predator.
It was adorable.
It went from
like holding this thing.
At first it was a Predator arm, and then when he picked it up, it was like Predator arm.
That's how big it was. And then he just shot it at him. It fucked him up.
You know what that was an homage to, right?
No.
The Incredibles.
Oh, yeah.
I'm joking, but it's the end of The Incredibles. He picks up the arm, and then he, like, I don't know how he figured out how to use it within 2 seconds, but he like pushed it, and it shot the thing, and And then she put a bomb on it before it shot off. And
I didn't quite understand that. The editing is very quick a lot in this movie, and sometimes things,
And this is where you get, like, really bad CG of, like, I don't know.
I thought it was fine.
When you have okay.
You want to talk about bad CG?
There's an actor who played the Predator, but then they go, let's get like an 11-foot tall Predator. Well, you can't have an actor in a suit anymore, so the whole thing is just digital, and it's not nearly as imposing as a guy in a suit. Or not, it's like, real.
I kind of like the Mega Predator. I thought he was okay.
I like the idea, but the thing is you can't put a guy, unless you do like cool, like Lord of the Rings, where you do like that weird,
I just like, I liked watching him just fuck shit up. Like, he was fun to watch.
The big Predator kills a regular Predator and then just rips his fucking head off. That was funny. But then she's like, did you see the armor under its skin? Evolution!
It's just funny because I didn't know what she was talking about.
But that's what I mean. Like, how does she know that they don't have armor skin?
Let's wrap this up by you talking about how bad the ending is.
Before we do that, is there anything in the middle that we skipped that
Yeah, all kinds of stuff, but
that was really funny and stupid. Why does she have to throw her phone down the drain to cut?
Well, I mean, she shouldn't have even been in the movie, so I don't know. I can't help you with that.
Boyd's gone, and the bad government guys are in her house, or in his ex-wife's house, and he calls, and she's like, everything's fine. And she hangs up because she knows he's going to trace the call.
Yeah.
Why did she take her phone and put it in the garbage disposal? It wouldn't matter if they have her phone. It's not going to help them find him. She hung up the phone because she's like, I don't want them to triangulate the call, right? Why did she put her phone in the garbage disposal? It literally made no sense. That's where the Predator shows up and stabs a guy in the dick.
Oh, yeah. Like, really does.
Like, there's a guy...
Through a floor!
Yeah, because the Predator jumps down into the basement, and the guy is on top looking down the hole trying to shoot him with a gun, and the Predator just goes, blade arm, Baraka Mortal Kombat style, and just does one of these behind him like Batman.
Yeah.
Cool, and then it just goes through the floor into the guy's dick.
Yep. And then he takes the second guy on the floor and just picks him up like a rag doll and fucking stabs him with a 6-foot blade 10 times?
And it's just fuck you!
It was so violent, it made me happy.
Yeah, something like that is funny because it goes so far into ridiculous violence, it becomes hilarious.
Yeah.
And if the violence isn't hilarious or real, it's just boring.
Yeah. Okay. Gundam style?
Yeah. Wow.
So I'll set you up here. So
can you read that text that he sent you first?
So we saw this movie with a friend, and he sort of sent me a text that was kind of like a summary of the movie that was kind of funny.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best.
So he said, so to be clear, the idea was that predators are shopping Earth on clearance because climate change will soon kill us, and they can't let that happen because they really want to be autistic?
Yeah.
He also said that the movie was like that bathroom fight scene in World's End for 90 minutes.
But that was a good scene, though. World's End is a better fight scene. One of the things about Predators, again, technology, the idea of how they got this tech, the story goes, is they travel around planet to planet, and they do find things they like, and they will kidnap that species and then make them make the technology for them. So there's like one where the Predator has a ship that he has like these weird bugs on it, and the bugs are actually doing all the shit for him. Like, they made the ship, they do all the technology. The Predators aren't actually that smart. Yeah. That's why when the book's like, I want to be a farmer, I'm like, do they have scientist Predators? Hey, if you guys watch my AVP Armageddon book review, there's a whole thing where Predators have this like super secret cool base with like Predator scientists and shit.
Why don't you call them by their real name?
They didn't say it in the movie. I was waiting for them to say something like that in the movie.
Talk about the end of the movie. I'm tired. I want to go.
Yeah, I'm done too. Okay. The end of the movie is...
Wait, I'm going to set you up real fast, real quick, because I didn't get a chance to say this earlier. So people at the store, they ask me, they're like, what's going on? What's going on with Aliens and Predator? What's, like, you're the expert. What the fuck? And I go, Ridley Scott stuff's done. There's no... The next fucking alien thing that ever happens, if anything ever happens again in the distant future, or recent, whatever, will be, if the Predator movie does good, they'll bring AVP back. That'll be it. Like if Predator did really, if it's not going to, but if the Predator did really well, the next thing you would see would be like, let's bring back AVP as this like crazy action horror sci-fi thing.
And we thought that because like the trailers and the commercials, there's like a big Predator. We kind of thought it was going to be the Predalien from AVP because
That's
that
what
was
we
a
were going.
big predator.
So when it got to the end, that's where I thought was going to happen. Yeah.
So the end of this movie is, instead of being put in the loony bin, now he's like Mr. Cool.
He's in charge of all of
He's
it.
captain with the beret, right?
And all the medals.
And there's a Japanese scientist guy there
Who it felt like the movie was.
trying to make you go like, you should know this guy.
Yeah, I'm like, is he from one of the fucking movies?
Yeah, is he from some movie that I don't know who this cameo is? I have no idea. Speaking of cameos, no. So they go, the Predator dumped a pod out of the ship before it crashed. It was hidden. And we found it. It led us to it. And this pod's going to have the thing that he wants to give us to humanity. And the pod starts to go crazy, and the computers are going crazy.
Oh, the translation on the box is Predator Killer.
Oh, by the way, yeah, there was that part where they actually had the translation, and the Predator talked.
Yeah.
And in English came out. Like, not from his mouth, but
Yeah, I like that.
it was kind of weird. I liked how when it was actually translated out, it was like, instead of, it would say the word kill,
Yeah.
at first it would say eliminate and go, no, kill.
Yeah.
Like, it was doing the thing where it was parsing, like, Google Translate going, well, this is what, like, the literal translation is, but it would make more sense if you said it this way. The idea of a head start. What did they call it? You remember what it said?
He said time advantage.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a time advantage. She's like, what does that mean, a head start? I'm like, thank you for letting the audience know they're too fucking stupid to figure it out for themselves. And see, that's bad writing. You know, let the audience figure it out. Anyways, so this thing is going to open all of a sudden. Fucking smoke and the sparking and there's things going crazy. Ooh, is it bad?
By the way, it looks like a coffin. It looks like something. Looks like there's supposed to be something humanoid-ish in it.
And they're pointing their guns at it. I'm going, well, why are you guys treating it like a threat if you just said this is the thing he wanted to give us to help us? And then you're like, we're scared of it. Whatever. I don't know, but basically a cross comes out.
It looks like it was pulsating and wet, and there was like little slime coming
in
off of
the
it
middle
everywhere.
part. It looked like there was like a fucking thing, moving, like a head.
So
or
I'm like, here we go. Here's the xenomorph thingy. Like, give them the creature that can.
Because I would imagine
the predators.
a better thing was instead of helping humanity was like, no, here's an egg.
Yeah, or something like
You know,
that. Yeah.
let's let aliens infest your world, and then we
Alright.
can hunt them.
It's way worse than that.
This thing comes out, and it's dripping oil, and it's just weird. And I seriously want to look and go, what the fuck is this? Because I literally didn't, like, nobody knows.
Yeah.
At that point, I thought maybe you knew what it was or something. I had no idea what I was looking
Nope.
at. And there's a scientist, and the thing just goes onto his arm. And they're like, ah, and then it starts to go all over him, and his, like, shield, and then all of a sudden becomes like a predator body, like an armor suit.
Like he's Tony Stark from Infinity War.
It is quite literally a Predator Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
And it's the stupidest fucking thing you've ever seen. It has, you know, the 3-dot red light that the Predator's always, it has like 6 of them.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden these fucking shoulder big guns come out, like they're literally like that big. Camera can see, they're huge, they're on the shoulders. It's literally a goddamn anime Gundam figure. And I think I looked over you, it was just like, whoa, we have jumped the fucking shark. If we haven't jumped it by now, this is the part you're just like, I'm out.
Do you want to say what the last line is?
Is it, that's my new suit, bitch, or something like
I
that?
hope they have it in like a 42 long or something.
I didn't hear that part. I just remember he's like, I go like, what is it? He's like, that's my new suit.
Yeah, everybody's
Boyd Holbrook's just gonna get to claim
clap.
it.
Yeah.
It was the silliest looking, stupid fucking anime bullshit I've ever seen in an actual regular movie.
It was pretty bad. I agree.
And don't forget that the government gave the autistic kid his own fucking desk and they let him work on the project. They let this 10-year-old kid work on this super highly classified. Well, yeah, because he put the helmet on at one point and figured out how to play the little thing.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about the movie anymore. It was entertaining. I had a good time.
It's bad.
There's lots of things that could have been better, but oh well. So now we're not going to get a Predator or an Alien movie for, I don't even know.
Ever.
Fox got bought by Disney. Next thing you might see is a TV show. You never know. It's going to be like Disney's streaming service, and it's going to be like...
Animated Predator, or animated Xenomorph.
No idea. But all the shit you've been enjoying, all these like... Ridley Scott comes back to the franchise, and oh shit, let's take the guy from the original Predator movie, and he's a successful director now, let's put him back on it. Like, and all these little wish fulfillment things, That's done.
It's weird because this is going to be
at least for a while.
This is going to be a pretty big black mark on Shane Black's career. Get it? Black? No,
his career's already gone up and down all over.
But I mean, you have Iron Man 3. You have
Iron Man 3 did really good.
Yes, I'm saying it made $hundreds of millions. You have Iron Man 3, and a lot of people like it a lot. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot.
You have things like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. You have what else is it? Nice Guys.
Yeah.
Like he has hits, man. And this is gonna be a thing that's just like.
Nice Guys didn't do good though.
Doesn't mean if it did good, it's a good ass movie.
Yeah.
They might even do a Nice Guys sequel. Like it doesn't matter. I mean, it does in the grand scheme, but I'm saying as far as like money making is not what we're talking about. We're talking about not commercial success, but artistic success or people like it.
Yeah.
Nice Guys or Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's not something that my wife's gonna go like, I want to go see that movie. But if we sit down and go, hey, I have a movie you're gonna enjoy. She watched Nice Guys and she's like, I really like that movie. But there is nothing that she would ever have seen that and go, I want to go to the movie theaters to see that. So I think I'm saying like he can make a movie where if people just give it a chance or see it at home or rent it, they're gonna like it. Mm-hmm. But they might not go to the theater to see his movie. This is a bad take for everything. My recommendation is if you like the Predator series in general, if you're a fan of the whole Alien Predator stuff, pay the money, go see it in theaters. You will be disappointed, but at least you'll understand. You'll be able to make your own decisions on some of this stuff, and
I think if you're
form your own opinion.
Not that emotionally invested in this franchise, it's a pretty good time.
I don't know why I didn't turn this off. If you're not, I mean, why would you be watching this if you weren't emotionally invested?
Tons of people. They hope that all kinds of people will go see this movie.
Right, but I'm saying if you're not watching this video,
sure,
you're only watching this video if you care, and you probably have already seen this movie.
I'm emotionally invested in this franchise, but I've also already accepted that I don't know. It's like Batman at this point. It's like, sure, yeah, try that. I don't know. See,
but Batman was good for a while.
Yeah, but Batman's gone all over the place.
And Batman's bad again.
66, and it's been this, and it's been that, it's been the other thing. Sure, try making like a comedy comic book kind of movie.
I think our body language throughout this review has been very telling of how we feel about it. Just like,
yeah. Well, I'm also just fucking tired.
So that's the Predator. Put it.
The Predator. Mostly, I'm also, we're talking about Shane Black over and over again, but I'm. Are you gonna throw up in it?
Put it in the bucket. Oh. Yeah.
This is a bummer for Fred Dekker because, you talk about Shane Black's. I know you don't care.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
I just he did Night of the Creeps. He wrote Monster Squad, and he. I don't know. He was the man on the scene, and then he did RoboCop 3.
Really?
Yeah, and that put him in jail for however long that's been.
Good. No, I don't like.
I mean, no, it's terrible.
You can
it's
have
a terrible fucking movie.
I'm just saying, but you can have a fault. It's one of those things where don't get paid a lot of money to then go write Dark Tower. Don't hire Akiva Goldsmith. There are people who consistently just make terrible movies. Yeah. It's okay to make a mistake.
This will surprise us, though. I think this movie, it's not going to blow up the box office, but I think it'll probably do okay.
Do you know any idea what the budget was?
It looked expensive.
That's my thing. That's why go with the big CGI special effects and all stuff?
In the hopes that if you go big, then you'll get big.
Right.
Which is what Shane Black kept saying too. Is I'm only going to do this if you guys want to really up the ante.
See, but I'm thinking spend $40 million, make it a hard R. Put your heart and soul in it, but keep the budget low enough that...
And they did that with the last one.
Yeah, but I'm saying the financial, if it goes big, you still win big. If it goes medium, you still win. If it doesn't do great, you don't lose. This feels like a lot of money.
What they need to do next, which they won't do, but the next thing that they want to do, if they wanted to fuck with another Predator thing, is they should do the thing that they've always talked about doing, and they never got around to doing it because they just need to make it a period movie. They need to do Predator in...
Oh, that's the original Predator. It was $18 million. I'm like, no, it wasn't. That's
all that anybody ever wanted was do a Predator in Civil War, do a Predator in fucking Western times, do a Predator with Mayan warriors, do a Predator with... It doesn't fucking matter. Do a Predator with pirates, do a Predator with,
The Predator must break records to break even. I will always go back to, and I will defend this to a big I'm right, you're wrong. There's a Predator book called Predator Turnabout. I think it's called Turnabout. And it's Boyd Holbrook would have been too young, but the whole point, the book is basically, it's not Dutch, but it's just take the idea of a guy who's Dutch. He's an old retired sniper who lives in Alaska on a fucking wildlife refuge area, and his job is basically to like catch poachers and things like that. And predators come down, kill some poachers and some big wild animals, and he's a super ghillie suited up, old, in his 60s, but still has this good sniper weapon, and he ends up killing a couple young predators and has to face off against one of the smarter ones, but he has shit on his side to fight against predators. Like I said, the ghillie suit keeps him from being able to be seen and shit. Like, it covers his body heat. Like, make a one-on-one. Arnold didn't do the cameo because he said it wasn't worth it. The part that Shane Black wrote for him would have been too small, so they just said, I understand you don't want to do it. But he wanted to have Arnie there at the end as like a fun little teaser, so that if they make a sequel, you could make Arnie like the main character of the sequel. I'm still like, fucking bring Arnold back and make him the main character. But if you do the book that I'm talking about, Arnold literally would be the best character, because he'd be like, I fought one before, I know how to do this, and now they're on my turf. Let's fucking go at it one-on-one.
Yeah, I'd watch that too.
Make it a quiet... I think I've talked about this before, on like over a longer podcast, but I think take Metal Gear Solid 3, when you fight the end, it's a sniper fight in the game that can take like 45 minutes to fight him. Make that a fucking movie, basically.
I feel like studios hear everything you're saying right now, and it's like, that sounds really boring.
They and you think that, but then I'm trying to think. There's a movie that came out recently, or something I saw recently, where take A Quiet Place. You take a movie with long lapses of no sound. People fucking ate that shit up, didn't they? Mm-hmm. Now make it a fucking Predator and an Arnold Schwarzenegger, but old. Same tension. Quiet, hiding, sneaking, pop a shot, disappear. All these fucking traps, weaponry, and then everything goes to shit, and then he has to like scramble at the last minute going, oh, they fucked up all my shit, they destroyed my barn, it had all my cool tools in it, now I gotta go out in the wilderness and fucking, People liked Quiet Place. I think you can make a Predator movie that's like A Quiet Place. I didn't like Quiet Place. That movie fucking sucked. But that's because the characters were fucking bad and stupid. Anyways, that's the Predator movie we all should deserve.
What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments.
Like and subscribe. Push the buttons. Hit the bell. Twitter.
It's called
Instagram.
And a call to action.
Oh, yeah. Sign the petition. This is the Predator movie that we want.
Yeah. We're going to Predator Gate.